To answer this question, you need to know where to apply the $5 tax or whatever tax is given in the question. So for that, you simply have to follow this rule. If you're going to put the tax in the demand, you're going to subtract it from the demand intercept. If you're going to put it in the supply, you're going to increase it from the supply intercept. And that comes from the supply and demand diagram. If you draw a diagram for demand and supply, with Q's here and P's here, well, any tax is going to reduce the quantity. And it does that by discouraging either buyers or sellers from selling. So if the tax is on the supply, it shifts the supply curve to the left by the amount of the tax, or shift the demand down by the amount of the tax. Either one of those two. And in every situation, the amount of the shift is exactly the amount of the tax. So since the demand is shifting down, that's why you need to decrease the intercept by the amount of the tax. Since the supply is shifting down, we mean to the left, that's why you need to increase the intercept by the amount of the tax. All right, so let's get rid of this now and then answer the question with the equation, which is really what we are kind of worried about in this particular question. So it's up to you where do you want to put the tax. You want to put it in the supply, you're going to put it in demand, it's really up to you. I'm going to put it in the demand on this one, but the answer is going to be exactly the same. So if we put it in the demand, what we're saying is that we're going to take that tax and we're going to subtract it from the intercept in the demand. When we do that operation, it's going to be 514 minus the actual tax, which is 5, minus 7Q. So the new demand curve, let's call that PD2, is going to be 509 minus 7Q. We're going to use that new demand curve to actually solve the problem. The supply curve, in this particular case, we're not doing anything to it because we put the tax in the demand. So now the new system solves 509 minus 7Q equals the original supply curve, which is still the supply curve. And now we simply solve for Q. This is equal 397 equals 9Q divided by 9, Q equals 44. Now notice that if we have instead put the tax on the supply, we would have actually gotten to the same answer. So let's try that. Now, when we put the tax in the supply, what we're going to do is we're going to raise that intercept by 5. So the new supply curve, if we had put this in the supply curve, would be 117 plus 2Q. And again, we're going to use that to solve for the equilibrium. The new equilibrium, again, in this case, the demand stays the same. Again, in this case, we're going to subtract the 514 minus 117. Again, that's 397 equals 9Q. We divide it by Q, and the answer is exactly the same. All right. So the important part is that you realize that you need to put it in one of the equations, either the supply and the demand. If you put it in demand, you subtract it from the intercept. If you put it in the supply, you increase it from the intercept.